You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. And now for a look at news making international headlines this Monday, 31st January.
A 6-car deadly crash in North Las Vegas on Saturday, January 29, took the life of 9 when a Dodge Challenger traveling at a high rate of speed ran through a red light and crashed with multiple vehicles at an intersection. 6 others were injured.
Today at 3 p.m., officers received a call about a traffic collision involving multiple vehicles in the area of Cheyenne and Commerce, in reference to multiple vehicles involved in a collision. Upon arrival, officers did locate the traffic collision, and with that, I'm going to update you a little bit more details. Preliminary investigation revealed the following. A Dodge Challenger was traveling northbound on Commerce, approaching the intersection at a high rate of speed. Upon that, witnesses stated that the Dodge Challenger did run a red light and struck multiple vehicles, causing a chaotic event. As for the vehicles involved, it involves a maroon Dodge Challenger, a white Toyota Seneca, a white Ford Fusion, a tan Chevy Malibu, a white Hyundai Tucson, and a white Mercedes SUV. Some of the vehicles, after being struck, were pushed into the northeast lot, a vacant lot at that, of the intersection. A total of 15 people were involved in this incident. There has been a total confirmed of 9 deceased, ages ranging from young juveniles to middle-aged adults. 2 people were transported to UMC in reference to their injuries. 1 person remains in critical condition, while the other one has succumbed to their injuries.
The driver of the Dodge Challenger was among the dead, police has confirmed, adding that speed is a factor in the crash that took place on Saturday afternoon. The ages of those who died, 1 juvenile and middle-aged adults. In total, 15 people were involved in the incident. 1 person remained in the critical condition at the University Medical Center.
A drone footage saw an oil spreading around the parts of Ecuador affected by the ruptures of a crude pipeline. Black oil could be seen flowing into the river in the Piedrafina area. The pipeline has burst on Friday, January 28 in Ecuador, Amazon, where regressing erosions have caused the OCP Ecuador pipeline and the state-owned SOTE pipeline to halt pumping in December, forcing the government to declare force majeure over its oil export and productions. OCP Ecuador, the operators of the pipeline, has said on Friday that the pipeline burst in an area which is not directly exposed to the rivers, and that is control the oil flow. However, indigenous organization Confini has said community were already being affected.
North Korea has launched another suspected ballistic missile into the sea off its east coast on Sunday, 30th January, governments in the region have reported, in what would be the nuclear-armed country's 7th test this month. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff have reported that a projectile believed to be a single ballistic missile was launched at around 7:52 a.m. on Sunday from North Korea's Jagang province toward the ocean off its east coast. The Japanese government has also said North Korea launched a possible ballistic missile. Jagang province was the site of 2 earlier launches this month of what North Korea called hypersonic missiles, which can reach high speeds while maneuvering at relatively low altitudes. If this missile launch is also confirmed, it could make January the busiest month ever for North Korea's missile program, which analysts say is expanding and developing new capabilities despite strict sanctions and United States Security Council resolutions that ban the country's ballistic missile tests. Japanese government spokesperson, Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno, said during a televised briefing that if the projectile was a standard ballistic missile, it is estimated to have reached an altitude of 2,000 kilometers and flown for 30 minutes over a distance of 800 kilometers. Analysts say if confirmed, those numbers could indicate one of the largest missile tests by North Korea in years. North Korea has not tested its longest-range intercontinental ballistic missiles or nuclear weapons since 2017, but the country's rulers suggested that this month they could restart those activities. The CEO of Korea Risk Group, Chad O'Carroll, wrote on Twitter that all signs suggest this is a big test, not performing as well as prior North Korean ICBMs, but could have been deliberately flown on a more limited trajectory. The tests come less than a week before the opening of the Winter Olympics in Beijing, which is North Korea's main political and economic partner. Pyongyang has said it would be skipping the games because of the COVID-19 pandemic and hostile forces. In an address ahead of the new year, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called for bolstering the military with cutting-edge technology at a time when talks with South Korea and the United States have stalled. Since then, North Korea has conducted a series of launches displaying a dizzying array of weapon types, launch locations, and increasing sophistication. From hypersonic missiles and long-range cruise missiles to missiles launched from railcars and airports, the tests highlight the nuclear-armed state's rapidly expanding and advancing arsenal amid stalled denuclearization talks. The ballistic missile launch and the ones before it are a threat to our country, the region, and the international community, Secretary Matsuno said, adding that these series of launches violate UN resolutions and are strongly protested. The tests appear aimed at modernizing North Korea's military, bolstering national pride ahead of several major North Korean holidays, and sending a message of strength as the country grapples with economic crises caused by sanctions and COVID-19 lockdowns, said Leif Erik Easley, a professor of international studies at Ewha University in Seoul. The Kim regime hears external discussions of its domestic weaknesses and sees South Korea's growing strength, he said. So it wants to remind Washington and Seoul that trying to topple it would be too costly. Its latest launches have included a test of 2 short-range ballistic missiles and their warheads on Thursday, and an update to a long-range cruise missile system was tested on Tuesday. Pyongyang has defended the launches as its sovereign right of self-defense and say they are not directed at any specific country, but accused Washington and Seoul of having hostile practices. Kim Jong-un visited a munitions factory last week, where he called for an all-out drive to produce powerful cutting-edge arms, and its workers touted his devotion to smashing the challenges of the U.S. imperialists and their vassal forces, seeking to violate their right to self-defense, calling it the harshest ever adversity.